Is greater cosmic mystery calling you? The mystery of your highest potential? But responsibility, stress, and EMF are distorting your vision. And the scariest thing is, during our depleted state, it's so easy to give up, to give in, and stay small. There's good news. At the Akashic Academy, we've dedicated ourselves to recovering wisdom that will help quantum visionaries, thought leaders, and difference makers thrive in the face of change. This August, come join me and the Ascended Masters in Mount Shasta for the Akashic Alchemy Immersion.
Why I went to Shasta. The Akashic Academy immersion at Mount Shasta represented a way for me to be able to work directly with Emily Harrison and a group of people like me that are looking at deepening both their wisdom and their intuition. The fact that Shasta is a mountain that's sacred to the indigenous people of North America and that it is known to have magnetic energy vortexes, that added to the mystery and the attraction of participating in the immersion. And what has happened since I got back from Shasta? I have been writing more, I have been writing better, and I've focused on developing more skills to coach effectively and empathetically. My intuition's improved. My focus on living a life of good health and acting on what is possible when I played big on my life's purposes has made life all that much more rewarding.
Why I went to Mount Shasta. I knew Shasta would be life-changing because of the potent energy there. I just needed to find the right tribe to go with. When I was in Shasta, I experienced unconditional love from within. I've built a whole company. I landed a TEDx talk. I have the ability to manifest at the drop of a hat because I tapped into the highest frequency in the vortex.
Hi, Van Bodhi.
Hey, Emily.
Here we are again, my friend.
Yes.
Although it's not really morning, but I just woke up.
Oh, nice. Naps are part of preventing burnout, I heard.
Yes, and yeah, you shared with me secrets earlier today that you wanted to sleep for 2 days. I'm like, does he know I just slept for 2 days? Seriously, I had oral surgery earlier this week and secretly loved the recovery. Recovery from surgery was welcomed in my life because I don't always take the time to rest and recover. And my body was so in that phase. I thought, I need to give this to myself without requiring myself to go through surgery.
Wow.
Tell me about yours.
Something, doing some clinical work with people. I'm just remembering back one of my teachers who was a chiropractor and then a nutritionist. And one of the things she said is that there's almost nothing that you couldn't heal if you could go away to a tropical island and lay under a palm tree on a beach and truly have no, because rest and digest would kick in. So it's a powerful choice. And yet I find it hard to really slow down enough to take that rest sometimes. And so I'm glad you're taking care of yourself and following your guidance on these things that can be scary and inconvenient, Isn't
that weird that our health and our highest potential can feel inconvenient? Like, we got reprogramming to do. So I'm so happy that we're having this conversation today. Not only are you and I having it here together, we got my mama, Jan Harrison, in the house. Well, say hello once you get here. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And I have a feeling, Kai, that we're going to find a lot of our friends and colleagues out there. I've noticed that since we've been doing these shows, they've reached out to me like, it's so fun to see you and Kai on screen. It's so fun to see you and Grace on screen together. So guys, once you get here and you're joining us, give us a shout out, say hello, let us know where you're tuning in from.
I've got to say, I watched the entire live on the replay with you and Grace, and I so enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the jokes and the laughter. I love the misunderstanding around the 12-inch journey. And no, but seriously, it was so cool to see the two of you chopping it up. It was authentic. There was value in it, and I loved seeing you guys together. It was really fun. So thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to watching it I'd rather watch the people I love on a live than something on Netflix,
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
So.
too, because the choices on Netflix, I'll tell you guys, because I've been binge watching relationship shows, either Love is Blind Argentina. Like, I've seen all of the Love is Blind. I'm so into dissecting, like, what do humans do to show up to really choose to love each other? They don't get it right, usually on reality shows, guys. And then The Ultimatum. So yeah, stay away from Netflix. Come hang out here with the masters. We'll talk more about like what we do when we're not watching relationship shows on Netflix.
What am I doing?
Yeah, tell me. Well, okay, so I would say that would be my default mode for burnout. First of all, let's just talk about like what our burnout looks like, and I'll invite those in the audience who are watching too. Guys, type in the comments when your burnout shows up. What does it look like for you? Does it get worse than binge watching cheesy like reality TV show? I mean, I think I just nobody can be worse than that. What do you got, Kai?
Well, I think that I've been in this kind of studying this pattern for a long time in my clients and myself. I mean, I know how it showed up for me today. I woke up. I didn't have a 5:30 a.m. coaching call, which I sometimes do, and my son was next to me. Mm-hmm. And just sleeping like a log. And I just wanted to stay in bed. I just wanted to stay in bed. I just wanted to enjoy that moment with my son. And there was no part of me that wanted to get out of bed and get ready to coach or do life. I just wanted to stay in bed. And I was aware of it. It actually felt really good. And then as I got into my workday and did a couple coaching calls, I was overwhelmed by this desire to take a sabbatical. That's what it's all I could think about. Mm-hmm. I just want to chill out, go on hikes, maybe renew some of my certifications and credentials, and have some of the day-to-day tasks of like cleaning and childcare just lifted off my shoulders, and just take a period of time to focus on me. And I've known this for a while. I think there's been a level of burnout under the surface. I think it's part of what got me to Shasta last year, to just shift it up, change it up. And I have so many things in my life I'm grateful for. I love what I do. It's not the traditional burnout. And I've been exploring it. And I think it has to do, and we can go to this later. I don't want to jump the gun, but I think I know where my burnout comes from. So what did I do today? I cleared my schedule for 2.5 hours. I had a cancellation. And I packed my gym bag and I walked a mile to the gym in the woods and through the beautiful weather. And I did a workout and I sat in the sauna in the steam room, and I feel 100% better right now.
I'm so proud of you for not watching Married at First Sight for like 5 hours.
I do have my go-to. I sometimes watch Dune 1 and 2 back to back.
That's cool. I've actually never seen that.
Oh, well, there are so many codes in that movie. You got to see it. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing what burnout looks like for you when it shows up. I also can notice, for me, I'm starting to notice my brain, and my brain will go into decision fatigue, where it's not desirable to make any decision, even a decision to take care of myself. Sometimes I just feel like I want to opt out. So I notice how the burnout looks in my body. I'm starting to notice like how my mind starts to function as I'm approaching that state, and getting more signals about how to take care of myself before I get to the state where I'm just absolutely wiped out. Is there any other nuance that you can notice in yourself about what your burnout looks like?
Well, I think there's another nuance too. It's like, like this current burnout is coming on the end of, and it's not always like this. This is not like a humble brag. It's coming on the end of big contracts, new clients, and then recognizing the level of fulfillment that is required. And I went to San Diego over the weekend and did some consulting in San Diego. I was away from my family, drove 2.5 hours both ways. And everything is good. But I recognize, and I know you're making jokes about watching whatever type of Netflix, but the reality is I do feel like it's important for me as a leader and for other spiritual leaders to have something fun in their life that isn't about healing or fixing or saving or new earth. Something that they can do that's just enjoying being a human being with what they already have.
And like that for me, I think is one of the biggest things that moves me into the state of burnout. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that now. I mean, the why, why do we get burned out? I think is a great thing to talk about too. For me, if I'm not in coherence with the clarity of my vision and exactly what it is that I want, I can definitely start to leak energy and start to get burnout, like the day-to-day monotony of what it takes to like constantly show up and give, can definitely put me in that space. How about you? Like you said that you narrowed yours down, you could pinpoint it. What caused yours?
Yeah, well, I was just sharing. I mean, it's not what's caused it in the past. I think for me right now, let's look at this from a coaching perspective and a leadership perspective. You know, there's our, you know, I think I shared last time as I've been taking men through their yearly planning, groups of men, small groups, I realized, you know, one of the pieces we looked at is what are the patterns, the practices, and the environmental factors that are responsible for our life being on track or off track. And as we got into this, there were certain guys that when I asked them about their pattern, some guys it was self-explanatory and they could just speak into it and it was gold. And other guys kind of got like a deer in the headlights around the pattern. And so then I got to kind of define that. And what I realized is a pattern is what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and then what we're doing with our body and our behavior. And this is valuable, you know, like in one of the men's work that I do that I can't wait to introduce you to, Emily, because there will eventually be a women's version. It's called 6 Kings or VI Kings, and it's about these 6 archetypes. And each archetype has 2 sub-archetypes. And there's a version for the feminine as well. There's some nuances that where it will shift and change. But one of the archetypes that I run is the healer. And inside of the healer, it breaks down to the shaman and the doctor. Now, the doctor is about diagnostics, logic, functional medicine tests, objectivity. And we need to have doctors. But then there's the shamanic side, right? The energy, the intuition, the soul healing, the magic, the quantum. So anyway, let's just look at it through those 2 lenses. From a doctor perspective, how I get into burnout is I don't architect days off. So on a day off, I might take on a project in the house, or I might cover the kids, or I might need to take the kids to a birthday party, and then it's still doing. It's still other people, right? So one of the things I realized is there is an architectural area of like within the realm of what's possible, there's definitely a way for me to have a day off every week or a half day where I literally discipline myself not to plan on that day to vibe code my AI or do existential things or end up on some calls with some other guys where we end up coaching each other. Like, no, I want a day off where I'm literally not directing energy toward other people. And that may look different for different people. And then as I zoom out, if I can get a day off every week, could I get a long weekend every month? Yes, I could. Could I get 1 week every couple of months? Yes, I could. I don't need any more money. I just need to plan better. So that's that. Second thing, I've been working out at home, just fitting it in, push-ups and kettlebell and maces, and it feels good, and there's some good things happening in my body. And today, to pilgrimage away from my house on a walk, I was already sweating, to a gym where I'm in a new environment with a new environment, right? There's a practice and an environmental factor. And then to sit in that steam room and just let the sweat come out and drink water. I mean, it was a game changer to do that. I know it sounds simple, but then it becomes about how do I ritualize that? So how about you? If you look at your burnout from the lens of the pattern, when you get burned out, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? And what are you doing with your body?
I definitely am in overwhelm, taking on too much, right? So I've gotten better at scheduling my days off. And I learned that from you, Kai. The very first time I met you, when you were on stage, you gave us some tip about scheduling things. Like you got to plan your life. And you made us all take out our phone right there and plug it right. I almost was like, well, let's see, Kai, what day do you want to take your half day off? And plug it in. So that's I can tell you guys, he walks his walk when it comes to creating your schedule, and I learned that from you. And I started doing that about a year ago. So I'm good on that one. What I noticed though for me is I overgive too much. And it bleeds over from my business and my clients to my kids to the point where, like, with my kids, I can actually see where I'm disempowering them and enabling them to step into learned helplessness, which is a huge pattern that I think afflicts a lot of humans, keeps us from being in our full potential. So I can notice that that's for me. Like, I'll go into overgiving everywhere and I'll start feeling resentful about how things are playing out in my life. It's especially easy towards my kids, teenage kids, to feel resentful for how much they're just like taking from mom, take. And then I start getting snippy and don't show up as my best self, the version of the mom that I want to show up as. I'm rather speaking my resentment or speaking the open loops that are still in my field that are my own trauma wounds and projecting that stuff onto my kids, which is not the version of myself that I want to be. And then if I haven't caught myself in the loop yet, that feeling of feeling guilty about being a spiritual leader and wanting to show up a certain way, and then failing in my humanity and my exhaustion to do it, definitely doesn't help the situation. Like, it can continue to spiral me downward until I get to the point, fight, flight, or freeze, where I just want to say, like, screw all this.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like at its worst. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally with that. I mean, I've had moments. Oh yeah, no. I was talking to a client today, and she one of the things she was sharing, and she's a very highly trained MD that does functional medicine, and she was saying that when I'm at the coffee shop and I start fantasizing about being the barista, I know that's a sign that that I have got to do some work, right? And so I think for me, it's kind of funny, but I shared with her, that I sometimes have a fantasy about downsizing my lifestyle and creating a reality where I teach a couple Qigong classes and I treat 5 or 6 patients a day, and then I go sit by the lake. And, so what if I'm living in a 2-bedroom cabin with my whole family? Like, what would happen if I downsize my life so I could have a simple life and leave work at work? Right? So that's my version of it. I'd probably imagine being a carpenter, but I can't imagine having the skill to actually cut wood and build things. I'm very deficient in a lot of the man stuff. So, but anyway, I do, when I do see a group of guys after a hard day work, drinking a beer in the back of a pickup truck, there's something in my heart that really touches me. Like it's so simple. Mm-hmm. It's so simple. So I'm really interested in how to bring some of that into my life without necessarily, giving up what I've already built or abandoning my mission. And I whenever we get there, I do believe I truly know the deeper distinction that I think will be valuable for the people listening. And so if I could put it back to you for a second, when you're doing that with your children, before you get resentful, what do you think what need are you trying to meet by being that kind of mother?
But overgiving.
Yeah.
What am I trying to meet?
Yeah. What are you trying to get to from the overgiving?
I'm trying to get to them feeling loved and safe and cared for by me and being a good mom by them.
Right.
Yep. And making up for other aspects of, motherhood that I feel like I blew along the way. Yeah.
Right. So ultimately, like, back to the somatic work and the system of that I'll continue to bring to Shasta this year into the work. Like, I truly believe it's simple, which is that underneath all of our complex personality differences and the variety of human existence, from the billionaires down to the homeless person, underneath it is the same wound, is that we are afraid that we're unlovable and unworthy.
Oh.
And the billionaire makes money and buys companies and does that to get their needs met. And the homeless person chooses freedom over responsibility, and they have the same issue though ultimately. So the question is, how do we keep our let's say our livelihood is actually in alignment with our soul. How do we keep our livelihood and our mission but not do it to prove that we're worthy?
Well, I mean, the easiest answer that's coming in my field right now is, one, we increase our power when we do it together. So we're going to do some breath work and some practices that are actually going to help us hold that resonance together. Doing it in community is really important. Staying connected to our bigger vision and sharing that and seeing that for each other is also really important, because I feel like if we're running that lone wolf syndrome and we're running that game, right? There are just so many distortions in the field, in the world, that cause us to stay in that place where we're trying to prove our worth. When we all come together and we do it together and we support each other, it becomes playful and fun. It's definitely not work at that point, right? And so that's been what I've noticed has been a huge difference maker for me. And, I've been involved in groups, business entrepreneur groups where we're all building business together. And I've been in spiritual groups where we're all building our spiritual craft, or our spiritual, our own disciplines together. And by far the times when I'm thriving the most in my life, it's when I'm coming in community. I'm working with other people who are prioritizing the same things that I'm prioritizing. And something unexplainable happens where it goes from being hard and arduous to being very, very easy. And there's a flow of energy that begins to carry all of us. That's been my experience.
Yeah, I love it. That's like the field effect,
Yeah.
you know, and we're built to do things in community, and we need communities that are working this. Like one of the wives of one of my best friends has a PhD in embodied leadership. And one of the things that she helped me see is she said that, what's needed to move the earth forward to the new earth are communities of practice. So, it's one thing to have a community of people that you know and love and that don't judge you. That's already huge. It's another thing if that community has a shared set of transformational practices.
Yes.
I mean, and this is what most traditional religions are based on. And there might be some distortion there that they may have lost a few things along the way. Mm-hmm. And so now if we can build these communities that are working on the same stuff. So one of the first things I did on my way to the gym today, besides message you, was I messaged my guy groups that are where I give and receive. And I said, hey, I'm experiencing a level of burnout in a new way with a new awareness. It's not a deep, dark hole. It's a momentary awareness that when I woke up today, if I had complete free will, I would have stayed in bed for another hour or two, and I probably wouldn't have done any forward-facing work today. Although I love this, and this is energizing at the end of my day. And I'm thinking about what it would be like to create a reality where I can take a sabbatical. And Raj is on the comments, and he says you're welcome. Raj is and Raj, and also I reached out to Raj because one of the places that Raj is focusing on is as a burnout coach.
Awesome.
The other part that I'm very grateful for is, prevention is cheap and treatment is expensive.
Yes.
And part of prevention is discipline.
Yes.
Part of prevention are structures. It's doing the workout when you don't really want to do it. It's doing the deeper meditation when you don't really want to do it. But if you do that, it's so much cheaper than getting into a breakdown space. Yeah. So,
yep.
Yeah. And so in these conversations today, I think I discovered exactly one of the key pieces for me, and we can do some breath work around this, of what really causes burnout when the livelihood and the work you do is profitable and it is aligned with your soul. There's a separate conversation for when you're not exercising. You're not eating well. You have toxicity in your relationship, and there's toxicity at the workplace, and you're overworked, and you're misaligned. That's a different conversation. There's a more conventional solution to that. But in this case, and I'll just go into it. Like I truly believe one of the biggest things is that, especially spiritual leaders, Emily, we turn our wound into our gift, and then we give in a way where we're deriving our worthiness from our clients' results. And then what happens is that's like we need to give from an essence that's already realizes it's enough. Mm-hmm. And even if the world didn't need it, and you've ever heard this question, if the world needed no healing, if there was no sick people, if everyone was connected to their Akashic records, if everyone's intuition was online, then what would you do?
Yes. Right? Yes. And I'm with you on that. You see like how much I light up? That's being inspired. That's being in spirit. And when we stay, let me speak for myself. When I stay connected to my bigger vision, what I find is I tap into that free energy effect where I'm not overgiving, I'm giving from overflow, right? And that slight tweak is what allows me to move from the state where I feel like I'm burning out, I feel like I'm leaking too much energy, and I get back into a state of being inspired. And it requires discipline of me tapping into my big vision daily and holding that frequency. Like I was so perfect. My soul chose so perfectly to practice acting for 20 years before I came into this work, because it's acting, being a good actor is all about sense memory. It's all about acting truthfully in imaginary circumstances, right? And so learning to hold the field of coherence, especially, and emote that through this technology, that's how we become really great manifestors. And being able to have clarity on what our vision is, tapping in, holding the vision, and doing breath work that helps us to, release the distortion, the stress in our field. It helps to reset our nervous systems. Our technology, your body, it is designed to be a magnificent tool of creation, naturally tapped into this holographic field. Once we learn to keep our technology working at its premium and how it's designed to, this stuff gets really easy and very, very fun.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Yeah. So let's get into a practice. We'll keep this one under an hour. So here's the distinctions that I'm working with. So the first one that I want to offer is, there's been a rise in somatic understanding. And what does that mean? It means that the body holds a wisdom that our mind cannot comprehend.
Yes.
You can't beat your own heart. You can't digest your own food. You can't do all the millions of processes that are happening beneath your conscious awareness. Okay, let's shift over then to the Huna tradition. This is a unbroken tradition from Lemuria that is still held by the Hawaiian shamans that are called Kahuna. And the Huna have one of the most incredible, even the psychologists and anthropologists who discovered them knew immediately that their understanding of the human potential is brilliant. And so the Huna's tradition is it's in a way, it's simple. You have your spirit, and interestingly, just like in Aramaic, right, the word for breath is ha. Allah is cosmic breath, just like in Islam, Allah is God. It's the cosmic unity. Your ruha is your soul breath, and then your ego, the animal breath, is called the nafsha, which has ha at the end. Now, the Huna were called breath the same thing, so we're probably dealing with a single seed culture that had the same words for the same sacred things. So in the Huna, and a lot of NLP and hypnotherapists study Huna stuff because it matches up with some of that technology. But the bottom line is this. Your higher self is up here. It's in and around you. And it has every answer. It can manifest instantly. It has every creative solution. It's what Emily's teaching with connecting to the Akashic records, right? Then you have your conscious self, the part of you listening to us talk right now. And then you have the body self, the subconscious self. And the connection from the connection between the conscious mind and the higher self has to go through the body. Has to go through the body. So let's come back to somatic science, which is that the body, the gut brain, and the heart mind have the deeper knowing. So the distinction I'm working with is, number one, I get to remind myself through my body practice that I'm already enough, and that my worthiness does not come from what kind of father or husband I am or what kind of coach I am. I have innate worthiness. And where do I experience that? In the gym, in an outdoor Tai Chi practice, going back and forth between hot and cold water, reading Aramaic teachings. So there's lots of access points. But even as we talked about in one of our previous lives, Emily, like when I read Aramaic words or even the inspired translations, I feel it in my body.
Cool.
I feel it in my body. Okay, so that's number one. We have to get in touch with our breath and our intuitive knowing, because that's the whisper of how to follow the voice of our soul. And Emily has great technology around that. And then we start to give our gift from a different place, a place of overflow, a place of abundance. And so today, whenever it's our time, I want to get your input on this, and then I want to take us through a practice that is a very simple and profound way to work between the 3D and the 5D, the physical self and the non-physical self. And I'm going to aim mine at this mini awareness of burnout. And I'm going to invite each of you that are listening on live or on the replay to just aim it at whatever's alive in your life. What's the pattern that's up in your life for renegotiation or inquiry? But anyway, anything you want to riff off of, or curiosity or comments?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, like, you start talking, Kai, and I just get mesmerized by the codes that start coming off in me as I'm like, oh, and I understand things differently. What I would just add is, yeah, the knowledge of the body is so intelligent, and there is a copy of the Akashic record within our DNA. As we start doing these practices, we open up the access points to these, to be able to function in that energy all the time. And yeah, maybe here's how we'll play. How about, why don't I take us through opening the records so everybody has access to their own Akashic records right now, and they can do some reprogramming. Once we get in there, you just give us a little breath work, right? And then we can repattern whatever it is that needs repatterning, like you said, wherever we're going to aim this, you can aim it directly in the space of your Akashic intelligence.
Okay.
Cool. We got Peter in the house too. Love it. Yeah, y'all say hi once you get here, by the way. We're enjoying hanging out with you. All right, I'm going to invite everybody to sit up nice and straight. Feeling all four corners of your feet on the ground. Tucking your tailbone and chin under, elongating the spine, and laying your palms up, open and receptive on your lap. As you take a deep breath in through your nose, creating space. Deep breath in. And we're going to gently hold at the top of this breath. So gentle hold as that spaciousness integrates into your body, your mind, your emotions. And as you gently exhale, like you're breathing through a straw, exhaling through pursed lips. Good. Send space out into the field. Gently pause at the bottom of that breath. Then draw in energy, the breath through the nose, deep breath in. And call light into your body. Light from 360 degrees enters into your cellular structure. Good. Hold at the top. Turn the awareness inward. Everybody notice rainbow light emanating from every cell of your body. Good. Nice, slow exhale. And enjoy noticing yourself as a being of light. You're going to feel yourself dematerialize. Good. Pausing at the bottom of that breath. Third, deep breath in. Calling your consciousness into the now moment. Good. Pause at the top of that breath. Give yourself permission to let go of everything that happened before this moment. And everything you still get to show up to this afternoon, this evening. Good. Nice slow exhale. Breathing through a straw. Following the breath with your awareness. Good. Arriving at the end of the exhale. Fully present. Ready to work in your Akashic records. Turn your awareness inward. Everyone, activate the crystalline tube of light that runs up and down your spine. If this is the first time that you're doing this meditation or this activation, the crystalline tube of light is a piece of ancient technology that we all come wired with, and it responds to your intention. So as you make an awareness, a connection with the crystalline tube of light, and you give it the directive to activate, it will. And see if you can notice the crystalline tube of light. Perhaps you feel the buzzing sensation. Maybe you hear that sensation. Maybe you can
See the facets of the crystalline tube. Let yourself just tune into this piece of technology. Then with your imagination, with your intention, sending the crystalline tube of light down into the core of Mother Earth. So traveling down through the crust of Mother Earth. This is the realm of the ancestors. Okay, and your ancestors likely have a message for you. You can receive that intelligence now. You can receive it as an actual message coming in. You can just receive it as code, as energy. Good, we're going to travel down now into the sacred roots of Mother Earth. This is the realm of medicine. And our bodies are a holographic representation of Mother Earth. So you can also activate medicine within your body as you're here. Good, traveling down now into the crystalline caves of Mother Earth. This is a realm of technology, a realm of wisdom. Your DNA activates as you spend time here. Just take a few breaths. You can give your body the directive to activate any dormant strands of DNA that you're ready to fully experience online. And traveling down now into the sacred underground waters of Mother Earth. Our waters are a great teacher. The waters store intelligence of the divine blueprint of Mother Earth. See if you can notice the divine blueprint being illuminated through every aspect of your being now. As you move through these sacred underground waters into the womb, the belly of Mother Earth, you are safe here. You're safe to remember the truth. And you are safe to invite forward the full presence of your Christed conscious self, the Christed conscious potential that Mother Earth holds for each one of us as she holds that within her divine blueprint, bringing all of that energy up online into the body now. Nice deep breath in. And bring all of that energy, that intelligence of Mother Earth into your body. It moves up through the feet, the ankles, the lower legs, the knees, upper legs, hips, trunk, torso, into the chest, the back, melting down your arms, moving down the upper arms into the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, the fingertips. I'm going to invite you to reach back, usher that energy. This is a self-initiation. We're consciously bringing this energy up over the back of the neck, over the top of the head, melting down around the front of the face. Bringing that energy into the heart, completing that circuitry in the heart space. Deep breath in. Draw the divine blueprint, the intelligence of Mother Earth, who holds that divine blueprint. Bring that intelligence into your body, that Christed conscious potential. Yes, every cell of your Christed consciousness online now. Bringing the awareness back to the crystalline tube of light. This time we're going to send it out the top of our heads and anchor it into the Akash, the all that is, and we will bring down the divine wisdom, the intelligence of your soul to illuminate your path forward, focusing on the crystalline tube of light, sending it out the top of your head, all the way up through the layers of space and time, moving very quickly as we exit the universe, exiting the multiverse. Inhale as you anchor into the Akash, the all that is. And setting an intention that your body will acclimate to this high frequency energy as you exhale, preparing the body as you exhale, preparing the mind, preparing your consciousness to receive intelligence, to receive activation. See if you can notice now the wisdom of your soul forward and backward through time, gathering in photons of light, gold, platinum, diamond, sparkles of light. Begin to spiral down the crystalline tube now, moving very quickly through the layers of space and time, integrating in through your upper gateways, harnessing, activating the soul star, spiraling down through the crown, the third eye, the fourth eye, the throat, extended heart, solar plexus, sacral, root, spiraling out your feet, activating earth star chakra, below your feet, anchoring into the core of Mother Earth, breathing now. You guys are connected into the galactic realms, where you have access to your full power. Dropping the consciousness from the mind into the heart, we'll sound the 5 sacred ohms, opening the Akashic records. When you hear me oming, om with me, as that vibrational frequency will prepare your body to receive the communication, the transmission, the medicine that is available for you today. With this Om, I relax my body. With this Om, I relax my mind. With this Om, I release my ego. With this Om, I call in the light. With this Om, I open the Akashic records of Emily Suzanne Harrison, and you'll want to repeat your own name, full name, first, middle, and last. The records are now open. I invite everyone to feel the energy of the masters, teachers, loved ones, and guides surrounding you. We have shifted the field. We've shifted brainwaves, shifted the vibrational frequency of what is available. You can now trust that the intelligence that's flowing into your mind, your heart, and projected into your field is coming from the space of your Akashic records and your highest intelligence. Okay, Kai, I'll turn it over to you to guide us in the breath work.
That was beautiful. Thank you. All right. So just bring to mind the channels open. On the 3-dimensional level, we're a body, we have breath, we have a place in time and space. On the 5-dimensional level that Emily just opened us up to, there is a stream of guidance. And so the question that I'm going to ask, and if it resonates, you can ask the same one. I'm asking, what is the next level of my service to humanity from a place of great self-worth? Not to seek my validity or my value through my results that I get with people, but instead to come from a full cup. That's my inquiry. And I invite you to choose yours. What would you love some guidance on in your life right now? Mm-hmm. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 rounds of breath. We'll start with 30 seconds of breath, and then we're going to go into silence for 90 seconds. Then we're going to do a minute of breath, and we're going to go into silence for 3 minutes. And that'll probably be enough. We'll do 2 rounds. This is a very powerful technique that comes from some quantum Ayurvedic practitioners that are deep into the yogic arts that they've brought into the world, and I really appreciate it and love it. So here we go. Now, you can do any breath you want, but the breath that I'm going to recommend is a 2-part inhale and a 2-part exhale, and it's in the belly, that most 3-dimensional part of you. So if you put your hand on your navel and you breathe in, and then out. And you should feel your belly moving. You're pulsing that energy of the gut brain. All right, here we go. We're going to do 30 seconds. It's going to be about 15 breaths, full in and out. Here we go. Okay, last breath in, hold. Take a sip through the mouth. Swallow saliva, relax shoulders, hold. Pinhole, exhale, and then just go into the silence and drop your question into the silence. Second round. We'll do 30 breaths. That'll be about 60 seconds. Woo, got some good stuff coming through. Hope you did too.
Oh my God.
All right, here we go. Clarify your question.
Yeah.
Here we go. In, out, out. It's in the belly. Activate that gut brain. Activate that root chakra for safety. Here we go. Keep going. Find a little stamina. Okay, slowing it down for 10 more. Slowing down even more. Okay, big breath in, hold. Sip through the mouth. Swallow saliva, relax shoulders, drop it into the chest and the belly. Hold, retain, pinhole, exhale. Now just listen. Listen, just listen. And then when you're ready, slowly start to come back.
I blissed out almost instantly. That was so easy to exit the ordinary world and be in a split space of just presence so quickly. What did you notice? What came in for you, Paul?
I got some really good downloads. First thing I heard was take care of your body, because when the body temple is functioning, the worthiness is almost a baseline, you know. I got the reminder to structure the time off so that I have it. Then on the second round, after the additional breaths, I got this. I heard, let me love you.
Yes.
Let me love you. And then I was tuning in to, like, what does it mean? It's like, you can relax and let go. And then I was showing how even some of the things I do that I love to do for other people in my coaching, there's still some anxiety underneath it. There's still some performativeness of wanting to be a good coach and wanting to fulfill on the contracts and get people what they want. And there was just this place of like, even that, let me love you as you do that and do it from a different place. And then the final one, this one actually came in the beginning, was I already know how to feel worthy. It's a code. It's like there's the exercise, there's the breath work, there's the hot tub and cold plunge. It's right outside this office door. Like there's time with my guy friends in the woods and psychedelics in from a playful exploratory perspective. There's going to the gym. It just was like all flashing before me. So that's the downloads I got.
Thanks for sharing. I love that. Oh, my third eye is I'd love to share what I got too. I went with the question that you posed about, like, where are we in service? Where's our next big place of service? And I instantly, like, I'm pretty clear on this anyway, although it feels good to feel it just like flash before my field. Telling the story of what we're doing in Mount Shasta, which we started by filming the principal footage last year while we were there. And this just magical story that I want to invite people into to become a part of so that they can experience what it's like to first know themselves, to remember the truth of who we are, and then to put that into action in a way here on the planet that's meaningful to each one of us. I mean, I think that's ultimately what each one of our mission is it's an opportunity to know ourselves and what lights us up, what keeps us inspired, and then make up our own way where we get to serve the planet doing it. I mean, it's like we're playing this giant game of make up our own life here all together on this planet, and to remember how cool that is and that we get to do that with consciousness. I'm so excited to tell that story and to invite people in to experience that story. And then I have another project that I'm working on that the records have brought forward about creating conscious and sacred relationships with ourselves and each other, how we do that. It's called the Love Codex. So those things blasted in super clear. And by the time you took us into the breath work, I was guided to use the breath work. They said, this is like the breath of the dragon coming in. And I have noticed we've had a lot of dragon energy becoming available in our planet, in the solar system, in our awareness recently. And dragons are powerful beings that just clear the space, clear the field. And so that dragon breath was just clearing any obstacle standing in my way from experiencing the fulfillment of those two, dreams that I'm co-creating with the universe here to bring magic and legacy back to the planet. And that's when I full on exited any part of the material reality where there's distortion or weight. Like I was weightless, Kai. Anything was possible at that moment. Like I'm grinning like a goose. I don't even know. I want to go back and see my face. I'm feeling it. My body is 100% without even reaching, holding that frequency. Right. I feel so good after just glimpsing that from the first round of the breath. Imagine how we get to feel after we play together with Grace and Jose for the week in Shasta and those out there who are joining us over at Lionsgate. And then the second breath, I was in Shasta. I was in Panther Meadows, and the guides were talking to me similarly. Welcome, child. We love you. Just feel the love. Just surrender. And that's one thing that I noticed. Panther Meadow is a place for me where I can let go of the anxiety, like the anxiety of what I've got to do next in order, like pressure to perform, to be here, to pay my way on the planet and my kids' way, and just to like exist here sometimes is so high. It's become a normalized operating system that plays in the background of my life. And sometimes it's not till it goes away that I recognize, oh, there's the absence of that now. Panther Meadows is the place for me where I truly experience heaven on earth. I do not experience myself with that false aspect of my blueprint illuminated. That's not even true about me. It's not true about any of us. I'm not special. It's how the human was designed. Although, I feel the distortion. Although in that moment I didn't. I just felt like the love and the surrender. It felt so good. It was so visceral. Very, very easy for me to connect. And this is just what it's like for you and I to come together with the group that's hanging out, whether you guys are watching live or on the replay, you're tapping into this field that we've opened up together. And it just felt so good. I loved it.
Yeah, thank you. That's powerful. Yeah. So, part of what I want to convey both as a teaching principle that I believe is unique and also as an invitation for people to come to Shasta with us, is that as I was doing some self-reflection with my, what we can call burnout today, I realized, I've had some pretty big miracles that have been, like $330,000 miracles that no one else received the gift except for me. I got my loans forgiven for Chinese medicine school. I had an advisor at the time who was ex-NFL player who'd done financial coaching, and he said, Kai, I have several clients with the exact same type of loans as you. I'm very familiar with this current presidential regime. No one is getting their loans forgiven. Mine got forgiven. And I had done close to 180 days of Joe Dispenza meditation specifically on that. And so today, to keep it personal, I realized two things. Number one, if I'm really honest, and this isn't a new revelation, but it's a return. Like I'm praying for a sabbatical in my life. I have a bunch of certifications I want to renew. I have some advanced study I want to do. I want some time with a housekeeper and a nanny so we can be more of the parents we want to be than the parents we have to be. And I want a year to just focus on myself. And will I do some coaching during that year, some live? Sure. So my swing for the fences quantum is a sabbatical, right? And just not that it has to happen any certain way, but I have two different male friends that are also coaches that did a single weekend for a guy in two different scenarios. And at the end of it, the guy who money was not the guy's problem said, hey, my life is forever changed from this work. What can I do for you? And each of my friends in their own way said, I would love to take a sabbatical. And these guys just wrote a check. And my two of my bros had some of the best years of their life. So I know that's possible. So that's my 5D quantum swing for the fences. And the way I'm going to engage with that is I'm going to do this type of breath work. And then I'm just going to go to some part of my sabbatical. I'm back in school. I'm enjoying the time with my wife. Okay, that's it. Now, let's come back to chop wood, carry water 3D. I'm going to take my day off a week and give my wife a day off a week. I'm going to find 1 week in a month and I'm going to give my wife 1 week in a month. I'm going to find a week when we drive back from Shasta. We're going to go on a road trip and see a bunch of people that I haven't seen and go to some of my favorite places like Santa Cruz and some friends I got in Sacramento. So what I invite each of you that is listening to consider is it's not either or. It's not 3D or 5D. It's both. Have a good 3D plan to do what you can from where you are, and then have a 5D plan where you are open to the miracle. And part of what makes this pilgrimage to Shasta unique is it's not spiritual tourism. It's not a one-off go on an adventure and have memories you'll never forget. It is that. It's also learn the code of awakening, do the breath work in the power spot, do the prayer and the manifestation in the pyramid, in the Panther Meadow, have an experience that you can never go back to that old version of yourself, but also come back with a practice and a method that is so imprinted into your body that we do every day, multiple times a day, and take advantage of the field where we're literally calling each other's prayers in.
Yes.
And there's going to be some Zoom calls before and after. So if you're hearing this and you want a spiritual adventure that gives you a new operating system, that has a community that's going to be fun and deep and safe and powerful and magical and is grounded in time-tested wisdom practices that work when and where you need them, then we are the tribe for you to travel with.
Yeah, this is about calling forward the impossible dream and making it possible, right? This is what's coming into my field right now. This experience is so coded with this, Kai. The very first time that we did this, taking people to Mount Shasta to harness these particular codes for calling in the big dream of what we want, the impossible dream, right? It was 2020 and the world was shut down from COVID. Like we were in lockdown. And somehow it reminds me of the Bee movie where it talks about the bee is, according to all known laws of science and aviation, shouldn't be able to fly because its fat little body can't get up off the ground with those little wings. But the bee doesn't care what science thinks is possible, so it flies anyway. that's really where I realized I was coming in hot on that first Shasta. And the fact that we got 24 people there, 4 Canadians across the border. I mean, the entire planet was shut down. Like, this is about stepping into the impossible and making it possible. So yeah, for those of you who are feeling called to, one, have a phenomenal experience in this incarnation, meaning you're not willing to leave this life without wringing it fully of all of the juice that's here available. This is the opportunity to dive in and play with the quantum magic that we found can align opportunities in a way that, without harnessing the power, the vortexes of the earth and the power of the galactic, I don't know how else we would accomplish these things.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm forever grateful. Don't know how long it would have taken me to get back to Shasta, and to have you opening the gateways to the unique characters that have been, cultivating there, to the unique places, and then to frame it in this, I really do think that the greatest gift that we can give ourselves, and the things that will turn this earth around sooner than later, is when each of us is able to tap into our heroic potential, because we actually trust the stream of consciousness that's coming into our head. We trust ourselves again. We trust our guidance again. We know magic is real. We have practices to stay attuned to that. And you do such an immaculate job of being a guide and a door opener to that. So thank you for that. And I, can't wait to see who takes these last couple spots. And I look forward to doing this with you every week.
I know, and playing on the mountain, open the records on the mountain. So if you guys want one of those spots, reach out to Kai or myself. We will share with you the special details and the secret knock so that you can get in. We do want to close up everybody's records. So guys, hands together in prayer pose, slight pressure against left and right palm. This helps the masculine and feminine aspects of your brain integrate what you brought into your field today. Thumbs touching each other in the heart, that completes the circuitry. And with one final Om, we give thanks for all healing and knowledge that comes forward in this space, and acknowledge the frequency of oneness. The records are now closed. And we'll see you guys on the mountain. Kai, anything that you want to say? Because I'm going to send them out with an outro of what it looks like to get activated with the light codes that come in.
No, I'm complete. This was great.
All right, guys, check out these light codes, and we will see you guys back here next time. Take care.
My first experience with the Academy was a one-day workshop, and I made such a profound shift in that one day that I knew I would work with her. Working with Emily this week has been profound and amazing, and the way she presents it, if you listen, you get it.